Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Francis Panola, and I'm a personal development and recovery coach based outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And today I'm actually talking about part of my self-improvement journey, and that's how I lost 60 pounds. And that's no BS, no gimmicks, just all natural. And I'm going to talk about how I did and how I've kept it off now for 3 years just about. In that picture on the left, I'm about 220, 225. That was like post quarantine. I was just ordering a lot of Domino's. Wasn't really going out, didn't really want to go to the grocery store, so I was eating just a lot of takeout. I was working from home, so wasn't going out really walking, doing anything, wasn't going to the gym or nothing, and boom. So over that like 2020, I gained, apparently nearly, I guess I'd started off a bit high, about like 180, 190. So I gained like 35 pounds over that, time. So now the picture in the middle, that would be about like, let's see, 2022, to 2023, or actually, maybe a little, so I guess last year, yeah, 2023. And that's about 165 pounds. And the picture on the right, that's me, with my shirt off. And before I wouldn't have been taking a picture of my shirt off of the 225, do a photo of like that. I was going to include it in this, but not trying to, scare people away. But that's me at like 172. And I'm about 5'10", 5'10" and a half, almost like 5'11". So, like my natural weight is about like 180 pounds. So that's me, a little bit leaner, working out a bit more muscle. And the picture, on the left is eating just Domino's and whatever I want and not exercising at all. So let's talk about, how I went from the left to the right. So I don't do shortcuts. I don't follow gimmicks. I listen to my body and I follow the science. So I wasn't trying to do any kind of crazy fad diets or nothing. Things raise red flags to me like pretty early on. So if something just seems like off, to me it is. I'll read studies. I love studies for psychology stuff, so I'll read studies for weight training, weight loss, and some of the people I follow on YouTube and stuff, like they're referencing studies and the things that they're talking about. And people that get really into bodybuilding and stuff, they love scientific studies and all. And it's what people are usually like prove their point is like this study. So learning how to read studies and follow the science, as well as like listening to your body, because that's everybody's body is different. Just because a study, I think gives you for what works for the average person or a bit more than average, number of people. But I think like learning how your own body responds to different either food, stimulus, all these different things, like that's the key and that's the journey. So that way a couple years on, like you truly start to understand yourself and have that connection with your body. So I put little pictures there. I like, so like no shortcuts. I have the guy in the middle kind of meditate, like learning to listen to your body. Some days you're going to feel 100%. Some days you're going to realize maybe I need to take a deload week. Maybe your CNS, central nervous system is taxed, and also like listen to the science, like do things that, kind of also logically make sense, right? So rethinking dieting. So your diet is what you eat on a daily basis. So diet isn't like if you think, okay, I'm going to diet for like 3 months or 6 months and I'm going to eat real healthy and then, I'm going to lose this weight. And then, so then that ends, right? You hit your goal, congratulations. And then you go back to eating the Domino's and you stop working out and go in the gym. Like, what do you think is going to happen? You're literally going to go back to the same state you were in before, because that's basically what that level of activity and diet looks like, right? So how do I find a healthy diet, an appealing diet? What does a healthy and appealing diet look like to you? Like, what are things that you enjoy that are healthy? Like think about yourself, because this make this all personal to you. What foods might you incorporate, increase, decrease, or change? Like what are things that you realize, like I don't really eat much vegetables, maybe I can incorporate more vegetables. I don't really eat much fruit, maybe I can incorporate more fruit. Maybe decrease. I used to drink a lot of sugary beverages. That's another thing. I used to drink a lot of like iced tea and things, just like I was probably drinking 1,000 calories a day, honestly, in just beverages. And I just didn't like drinking water. So now I drink like seltzer, so I have like a seltzer here, 0 calories. By switching to this, I cut out like 1,000 calories a day. And it's a change that wasn't that difficult to make, honestly. I didn't even have to change like the foods I eat, but learning what different foods I enjoy that are healthy, learning how to cook different things, what don't I like? Because suppose there's a vegetable you don't really like. If you really hate broccoli, don't eat broccoli, right? Really don't like cauliflower, don't eat cauliflower, eat something else. Or like for me, I can't really do salad, so I'd like learn other things that my stomach can digest well. but like learning different foods, fruits, things you like. I was thinking also like fish, chicken, like I've discovered I love all kinds of different fish. Super duper healthy for you, and to me it's delicious. Can't eat like sea fish all the time because like mercury and stuff like that, but you can eat it often enough. So my diet, my stomach doesn't like certain foods like celery, celery. I was gonna say salad and dairy. And so I don't edit these videos. I make conscious decision. I don't want to sit there and like nitpick every word I say. And if I don't say something right, then I'm just gonna delete that part because what if it was something that could help somebody, right? So that's why these bloopers, whatever you want to call them, were left in. But I had to learn what I can eat on a daily basis that I enjoy and has me feeling full and healthy. Because I don't want to be starving. I want to feel good. I don't want to be sitting there with my stomach gurgling all day, like, so what can I eat that has me feeling full and healthy? For me, this has to be fish, poultry, nuts, fruits, and simple carbs. I love oats, granola. I grew up on pasta. I don't really do like pasta. I love nuts, all different kinds of nuts. I love fruit. I eat bananas, apples, pears, different stuff, oranges, like every day, especially bananas every single day, and usually apples as well. But I love chicken, so I make all different kinds of chicken that's slamming, but different poultry and fish. To me, I enjoy it, and it satiates me. It leaves me feeling full. I put a couple pictures here again. So like the guy on the left, it's like holding the stomach. It's like me after eating salad. Like, oh, this is not sitting well. In the middle is like different, ideas of healthy food choices that you can eat. And the guy on the right, somebody feeling full. Because I don't want to eat and just felt like I've barely eaten anything, right? Like that's not fun. So I want to, a lot of times the protein, the poultry, chicken, fish, whatever, that's going to be what fills me up. Salads can help you feel physically more full as well, but fortunately it's not something I can eat. But like simple, super simple carbs, they're just going to go right through you. They're not going to really fill you up. It's going to be an energy source. So activity levels. I mostly work a desk job, so I don't get a lot of activity unless I purposefully seek it. Therefore, I don't actually burn a ton of calories unless I exercise, which also means I don't require the same amount of fuel as someone doing heavy labor all day. So for me, like if I'm working at a desk job, I'm not burning the same amount of energy as someone who's like, a trash man or someone moving furniture all day or, like whatever kind of labor they're physically doing more, they're going to use more energy than if I'm sitting at a desk. I've also noticed that when you work in an office that people bring in food all the time. It's like people's birthdays or different events. Like I discovered when I was young, I worked in a hospital, that there was like, I'm like, wow, so I'm working a desk job and all of a sudden there's more food. And that was the first time I started like, putting on more weight. And I discovered these two kind of things go hand in hand. If I'm eating more and I'm not active, what do you think is going to happen, right? So either it's also when you think about what kind of job, suppose you're looking for a new career, think about how active do I want to be? Maybe you have had jobs you're not super active. Maybe like I want to increase my activity level, or if you're looking for a side gig or whatever, maybe doing something more active just to, give you more activity throughout your life if you work a desk job or vice versa. So if you work a labor job, then maybe your side hustle is something where you can sit and relax, right? Think of jobs that can do that, So for diet and exercise, so now I've got my diet, which I used a calculator for early on to figure out how much I personally needed to eat, because it's going to be different for everybody. Like different people operate on different number of calories. So that's why like actually kind of learning what your food budget is, how many calories do I have a day to work with based on my activity level, so then I can fill them with different things that I enjoy. And just because somebody else that can eat, 2,500 calories, and just maintain their weight with that activity level, doesn't necessarily mean I can. Especially, I did a lot of harm to myself, and drug addiction and stuff when I was younger, and I wasn't really eating much. So now my metabolism, I kind of tanked it for a lot of years. So now I'm like working on getting it back, building that muscle. Heroin addicts aren't known for being muscular. Okay, I wasn't exercising, working out, but learning things that I enjoy, the exercise I enjoy. So with these pictures, right? I have some overnight oats, apples, bananas and blueberries. Like I love that stuff. That's delicious. I have once again different types of foods that people enjoy. Now I have some of my chicken in the picture kind of in the middle there, and even my chicken. Like I'll be heating up at different offices at work. People are like, oh my god, it smells delicious. What is that? I'm like, oh, it's my chicken. And chicken, you can make it super bland. I don't. I mix all kinds of different seasonings. I make all kinds of different flavored chicken. I eat chicken like once or twice a day. I sometimes I feel bad for chickens as a species. But this is my main protein source is chicken. And I can make it so many different ways. I truly enjoy it and I look forward to eating it. Like when I go to eat my lunch today, I'm going to be like, damn, this is good, right? So another picture of me that's in the middle, kind of flexing a little bit like at the gym, but to be able to feel good in myself, feel confident, feel strong, be in the best shape of my life at 40 years old, that's wild, and learning, eat how to eat well, and enjoy it, right? How to, exercise properly and safely and enjoy it, do the exercise I enjoy, and just make it part of my daily habits and routines, which I'll get into. But also, as far as even weight training, to me, everything is a philosophy. Different people have different philosophies for weightlifting, weight loss, etc. I prioritize sustainability, strength, safety, and success. So I want to be able to do is keep doing this thing for basically the rest of my life, or at least until I can't any longer. So I want to make it sustainable. So if I'm going in there and going too gung ho or going too hard and doing like doubles, I'm working out twice a day, like that's not sustainable. I'm burning a candle at both ends, probably going to hurt myself, right? Strength, that I want to prioritize being able, like when I do things around the house, being able to move stuff. So when I go to move a piece of furniture or help a friend or do stuff, like in life, that I have the strength capacity to be able to do this stuff. And to me, that's awesome. Like I have strength when I need it. It's now literally when people ask me, like, it's happened at workplaces. Hey, like, think you move this? Watch out, it's heavy. I'm like, oh, literally, I'm like, this is nothing. I can curl way more than this. Like I truly enjoy that. It's fun to me. Safety, to be able to do this like without hurting myself. Because if I tear something or hurt myself, then if that keeps me from going to the gym, that's jeopardizing the sustainability, right? And the success. So once I can add all these things together just to keep on this like, steady progression and keep working at it while doing it sustainably and safely, I'll reach success. And I don't know what the end goal is, or surprise yourself, right? But I know if I keep showing up and I keep doing the stuff, I'm going to get to wherever I get to, right? But slow and steady wins the race. This is a marathon, not a sprint. I'm not trying to just, a lot of people will go real hard. And I see people come in the gym, I've been going to the same gym for several years, and I'll see new people come in, they got like the treadmill all the way cranked, and they're like doing, or I guess supersets, or like doing multiple exercises at a time and different things. And I'm like, and next thing you know, you don't see them a couple months later. They were going so hard, and it's like you're burning yourself out. And actually, if anything, if you're not eating enough and you're burning too many calories, you can tank your metabolism like that, right? So that's why you should have like coaches and stuff, so you can tell you like you ease into this. You'd start out just like walking. You're not going to start out running. See people that are massively overweight like running. You don't need to be running. Like you can walk, you can ease into this. You don't need to be doing crazy numbers of sets. Like this slow and steady is going to get you there. You need to give yourself room to grow, right? So if I immediately shoot up, where's the room to grow? You need to literally give yourself this progression in these steps, right? So I'm a creature of habit. So if what I do is go to the gym after working on a weekday, it's what my brain is used to doing. So if when I leave work, I'm used to going to the gym. It's when my brain's like getting ready. You ever like driven to someplace automatically? You're like, oh, I wasn't even trying to drive there, and you start turning there. Like that's literally where your brain is so used to going. So the night before, I'm packing my exercise stuff. Like it's all part of my habits and routines that are just ingrained into my life now at this point. There's a book, The Power of Habit. That's excellent. I forget his name. Scott Pruitt, maybe. Blank on the name at the moment, but it could be correct. But it's called The Power of Habit. But literally just making things into habits in my daily life. If I do that throughout my life, healthy, sustainable choices, it seems like it sets me up for success pretty well, right? So eventually I got to the point where it feels off, or I'm disappointed if I'm unable to go work out. So if something comes up and I can't work out, I'm literally like, oh man. Before I'd be like, oh, I have to go work out. Like when I first started, like, okay, let's do this. Now I'm like, oh man, I need to go work out. It's what I do. So motivation is great, and I do things to stay motivated, but discipline picks up where motivation leaves off. And I used to wait for motivation a lot in life, and if you I'm going to wait till the time is right to do this, like, no, just make it part of your habit and routine, instead of waiting for you to feel like 1,000%, like oftentimes it's not going to happen. You're going to walk in some days not really feeling like it, but once you get in there and you get in the groove and you get your system firing, now it's kind of like a engine firing, right? But once it starts going, it's like a lawnmower. I'm trying to imitate, trying to do sound effects. But you're trying to start a lawnmower. and then once it's going, now we're cooking with gas. Okay, that's once you're in it and you're doing it, you're going to feel it. And sometimes you're like, the exercise, you're like reaching your time limit because you don't want to overdo it, and you're like, man, I could still keep going, but I know I'm going to be extra sore, or these different factors, or you have stuff to do, right? So I can't only do things when I feel like it. Life doesn't work well that way. Instead, I imprint things into habits. And this is super effective with ADHD. So I have ADHD. So if I can make things habit and second nature, like to not lose things, to not forget things, to have a checklist when I leave the house of things that I need, once I can make it so ingrained in my second nature that I just kind of do it automatically, I don't have to like remember to do it. So to me, that's like as effective a strategy I've ever found with ADHD since I was a kid. Is just making things second nature and habit. And that's through discipline and creating habits, right? Just by repetition, doing things repeatedly. Eventually, it just becomes who I am, right? So let's see. So I enjoy my diet. My body thanks me for it. So I get to feel good. I get to eat stuff that I enjoy. You know what I mean? I get to be able to move things I need to, not hurt myself. I did have to make time in my life for exercising, and that continues to be a priority in scheduling. That's roughly 1.5 hours per day. So suppose like I've had, gotten different jobs or different schedules, and I've moved from like a morning working out person to an evening working out person because of necessity and figuring out where I can fit these different things in. But I'm going to figure out where to put that 1.5 hours. Now, for me, it's 1.5 hours to do about 1 hour weight training at this point, and a half an hour of either like bike or walking or something on the treadmill. Because otherwise, I wouldn't normally get a ton of steps a day. So if I want to even get a 10,000 steps a day, like I really need to. When I was working from home and all during quarantine, like I was maybe getting 2,000, 3,000 steps a day unless I was like trying to. So, and especially when I'm at home, I could just sit there and snack all day. It just wasn't super healthy, right? So I actually have to go out of my way to get these steps in this activity and exercise that maybe someone a labor job is just doing automatically because that's just how they live. Maybe they need to fuel themselves more, if anything. So I ask myself, what kind of lifestyle do I want? An active one, or one of relaxation, or maybe a healthy mix of both? Like I try and find this balance, just like with these philosophies on weight training. You have people that are more of like a mindful just approach, and people that are very just scientific with it. People that are just throwing weight around. People it's all about form and strict. Like all these different philosophies, right? Like I try and find this healthy mix of both, where I'm pushing myself, but and keeping good form, and and where I'm eating a healthy diet, but still being able to enjoy myself, finding this, where is my balance? And I talk about this in a lot of different self-improvement areas, is like eventually where you figure out where your goal is, where your end point is this healthy mix for you. For somebody else, it might be at a different place, right? Higher or lower, depending on where they're at and where they want to get to, and what kind of lifestyle they want. But I realized I needed to up my activity game. I just wasn't moving much, so the cost and the benefit of like sacrificing maybe some of my time, okay, what is this 1.5 hour a day going to benefit me that I was doing this other thing previously? Okay, well, the benefits I've seen now with exercise and stuff is tremendous. Health, mental health, physical health, I can't, recommend it enough. Same thing with lifestyle. Like I like an active outdoor lifestyle. I love doing stuff outside. I love nature. So to be able to walk or jog or do things outdoors or hike. I'd love to be able to like rock climb. I couldn't do that like really like 225. Like to me, it still seems like something difficult. Even my current shape, right? But I would love to. That's something else I have to find time for, to be able to start learning a lot rock climbing. Currently, there's so many different things in life. That's why I love self improvement that I want to work on. So currently, like working on a 5K is times my current thing. So I'd love to be able to like start working in like distance running and stuff. But I would love to join like a running community, different things like that. So there's always different things I'm working on. This is why I'm into self-improvement, personal development. Like I just love it. I love the fact that you can give yourself a goal and something you want to work towards. And if I practice that sustainable, approach and just keep working at it and just keep putting in the effort and keep up the discipline, I know I'll get there. I also know that if I just go too hard, too ham at it, and I'll immediately my first run instead of 5K, I'm trying to run a marathon, and then like I'm probably hurt myself or something. I'm probably going to burn myself out. So instead, smart, realistic goal. So I think a 5K is an early, smart, smaller, realistic goal, right? So working on these things just one step at a time. But here I am 3 years later, still on this lifelong journey. And I use the word lifelong because instead of a sprint, instead of a marathon, it's literally the rest of my life. There's not even like I'm going to do this for like 5 years. I'll be healthy for the next 5 years and I'm going to stop. Then I'm just going to just eat whatever I want, live off ice cream and pizza. And, I'm just not going to go to the gym. I'm just going to, play video games all day or watch Netflix or whatever I want to do. Like that's not how it works. I'll literally go back to exactly how I was. So like this cost benefit, what does it actually want in life? And then that is what I'm pursuing in a sustainable fashion, this lifeline. So I take my deload weeks when I need to. A deload week is where you literally, maybe do half the amount of reps. Sometimes you don't go to the gym at all, just to give your central nervous system, your muscles, your tendons time to rest. And like listening to your body can tell you when you need those deload weeks. I could program them in like every 8 weeks. Maybe you tell yourself, okay, next I'll go real hard, and then 8 weeks I'm taking deload week, and then 6 weeks in, like you're at the gym, you're like, whew, maybe I need the deload week now. So like learning to listen to your body, right? I take my diet breaks when I need to, because you can't just stay dieting for several years. It's just, your system is going to fight back. So you need to be able to give your body time to rest, be in a maintenance phase, even be in a surplus for a while. Like learn how to work these different things in, because you're literally putting your body through stress, especially if when you're losing weight or when you're going hard in the gym. It's stress. It's purposeful stress that we're doing, to benefit ourselves, but it's still stress nonetheless. So I need to take these breaks when I need to. And I just take it week by week, month by month, and year by year. Have different goals, different things I'm working on. Like right now, it's like rear delt, rear shoulder area and stuff, because I got good front delts, but working on that. Like learning exercises for that and all this different stuff, right? Or like more mind muscle connection when I'm doing like rear delt flies and stuff. So I'm against like exercise stuff, but when I hit a new PR, notice some new gains, like I'm super stoked. Like I'm here for it. Especially hit new PR, I'm like texting my girlfriend like, oh, new PR in this, or notice some new gains in the mirror. I'm like okay, and also helps me know the things I'm doing are working, right? But even on days where the weights feel extra heavy or I feel extra puffy, it's been like holiday time or something, and you feel real thick around the midsection, like I'm going to be there, because it's about the discipline. Just like I know I can fall off for a week and eat a bunch of stuff around the holidays, and it's okay, even if I gain some weight, because I'll be there in January and February and March and April, and I'll adjust from there. But just being able to take it, make it sustainable, take it one day, 1 week, 1 month at a time, right? One day at a time. You get that from recovery. And that's a lot of these different things, they relate. A lot of these different philosophies, these concepts, whether it's self-improvement, recovery, like these different approaches, that are just general, essentially, are super helpful. A lot of times, like just like the people coming in the gym that I see with the treadmill all the way cranked, or that they're trying to run early on, like nobody's telling them this stuff. And this is why I do coaching, right? So that way I can take these different concepts, these philosophies, these common threads, these ideas about balance and different things, and goal management, smart, realistic goals, like how to take whatever it is you're working towards and actually make a sustainable approach and plan to trying to achieve it. How you're going to adjust if it's not working out. What are different variables that I can affect, right? This is what the coaching actually does, so that's why I'd like self-improvement and personal development and recovery coaching, because to be able to help people actually achieve the goal. Because I don't want somebody to try and do something for a couple months, get burnt out, and then get dismayed and like, oh, I tried that. I gave it a shot and it really wasn't working the way that I wanted it to. So now I'm not doing that anymore. Like, to me, that is heartbreaking. That's what I'm trying to avoid, So like to help people actually, work through these difficult moments, get there and have that belief, that motivation, the faith in themselves and that discipline, that's what I do this for, because I know these goals are achievable. I've done it myself. I've helped other people achieve them. I know it can be done. But as always, like, thank you very much. And if you're interested in personal one-on-one private coaching, feel free to contact me, francisp at premiumpersonaldevelopment.com, or just go to my website, premiumpersonaldevelopment.com, or I'll link it down below. And as always, thank you. Have a great day. Bye.